Alrighty, what is going on, everybody? Shellz back here. This is season 3, the start of season 3 now. We're going to go through the transfers today, and then we're going to play the first game of the season, which is against Everton. It's going to be a good one. Definitely not the transfer window I was expecting, as we'll go through the transfers down in a sec, but the move I really wanted to make was blocked, and that was ultimately the one that kind of frustrated me. I'll get into that in a sec, and you guys can probably be able to tell what it was, but I have gone left back, left mid, and a midfielder, interestingly enough. Wasn't my original plan. Plan was potentially get a camp, but I did feel like we needed a fourth, someone to, in between that kind of Pogba or Bruno, and then the Tonali gap. I feel like we needed someone to be there just to kind of fill the gap there. I don't think Mebry is at that level just yet. I feel like he's right behind that level, but I felt like we needed that, so that's kind of what I did. Anyway, without further ado, let's go into these transfers and let's get it started with them. First off, transfer history today. So here's the players I've brought in. Now, first and foremost, a few of these players are future buys. They're not really buys for now. This Japanese guy, winger, looks like an absolute fantastic player. I think, have I not sent him out on loan? I thought I had sent him out on loan. Yeah, he's not Rio Ave. Get some game time. I'm happy to pay him. He's definitely going to be worth it. I think he's one for the future, just 19 years old. We got a cap for Japan. He looks good. He looks the part, and I'm pretty happy with what I saw there from that. And same thing with this Jose Pereira guy. They're both right wingers. That was a bit of a mistake. I didn't think I would both do them in the same position, but we'll figure out how to change these guys' positions around. He's on loan at Parabon. Look, if they make it, they're brilliant. If they don't, it's a small bit of money wasted. But the first big signing was Thomas Lamar. I couldn't resist. 43 million for him he's on the transfer list. I felt like he's an upgrade over Marcus Rashford. Apologies, Rashford. I just don't think he quite bring what I'm looking for to the side. And I think hopefully, you look at, Thomas Lamar, and hopefully he can, bring a bit of pace to our team. I think he's the type of guy we need. Ultimately, at the end of the day, I think, Rashford's going to slot in as the backup, and Dan James is kind of going to be the kind of the swing hybrid guy from left to right. So that was the decision I made. I've gone with it, and I think he's going to give us just a little bit more that we need on that left-hand side. Bilal Alger is another player for the future. I did spend a lot of money on him. I paid 7.5, but you can see, he's worth 17.5 already. So this kid he looks the part a bit. He just looks like he can absolutely destroy people. He's working his finishing a bit as he wants to continue playing as a striker. But look, I've huge, when I saw this kid come up in my list, he was an absolute must sign. So you've got him down in Derby this season. I expect him to absolutely blow the league apart up there and be knocking at the door very, very soon. Hopefully he does, because that would be a good problem to have. Lucas Digne was the next man I brought up to the side from Napoli. Now, Napoli did buy him last season. We decided to cash in and make the move. Again, I just feel like we need more at left back. I just feel like Luke Shaw's just a little bit down. I don't think Luke Shaw's a bad player. I think he's the perfect backup guy. But I feel like we need Lucas Digne for some games. I feel like it will allow me to rotate a bit more. It's just added depth at that stage. So if we can push on to back row, it's perfect. I don't think Brandon Williams is quite up to this position yet. I'm going to figure out what I'm going to do with him. But I think Digne is a brilliant player. It was really coming down to between him, Alex Grimaldo, and who's the other third guy? I'm trying to think who's the third one I picked out. Left back. And I was kind of just going through between the three of them. And at the end of the day, I think the best deal I got was with Lucas Digne, so I decided to go with him. He is Premier League proven, so I decided to stick with him. Hopefully he can stay fit. That's kind of the only issue I really have with him, but yeah, I'm very happy with that signing. And then probably the big marquee signing was Yuri Tillemans from Leicester City for 74 million. I feel like he is just going to slot in beside Pogba and Bruno and just be world class, and that's really what we need to do. He's on the transfer of 74 million. I said, feck it, let's just go for it. There's nothing to lose for it. We might as well go for it. And I think, quite frankly, I think we're going to be richly rewarded with it. I'm hoping he will, prove to be worth the price. I think he is our second most valuable player, so he better step up to the plate big time, because if he doesn't, I'll be disappointed. But yeah, it speaks for itself. I feel like we needed to get more depth in midfield. I think Sandro Tonali is a fantastic player, but unfortunately we're going to have to move him to the bench. Same with Rashford. I think same with Luke Shaw. So, we had to make changes. Now, Tillemans was my first choice. My first choice signing for this position was Sergej Milinkovic-Savic, SMS. For some reason, people call him Savage. Sorry, what? Savic is the guy who plays for Atletico Madrid. He plays centre-back. Now, this is Milinkovic-Savic. the centre mid, not his brother who plays goalkeeper. He used to play goalkeeper for Manchester United. I had a deal with Lazio. I think it was a 75 million deal with Lazio. All done. Agreed to, signed off on 300k a week wage. My head physio, head doctor, signs off on him, and the board rejected it over medical problems. So the board just decided to say, no, we're not going to do that. He did have a broken leg, but it was going to get recovered before the season started, I think, or maybe just 2 or 3 weeks into the season. Didn't accept that, and unfortunately he decided then to take a deal to Real Madrid. So yeah, unfortunate that one. By the time I went in the second time, it was over. I think I offered him the same money and he chose Madrid. So fair play to him for choosing that. Look, I can't change it now, so I went with Yuri Tielemans. I thought he was the next best thing. It was a close call between him or James Maddison, but I felt like Tielemans offered us a bit more. That I feel like Maddison's a bit too much like Bruno and a bit like Pogba too much, and I kind of wanted to go with Tielemans in there, and I think he can also kind of play a little back as well, so that will hopefully help us in the future. But anyway, let's have a look at the transfers out now. The first one on the list is Phil Jones. We've got him off the wage budget, thank the Lord. West Ham paying me 10 million. I would have given them to you for free, but I'll take the 10 million. I mean, he just had no place in the side. I dropped him down to 23s last season, just didn't care about him really, so good to see him move on. I've loaned Goebbels to Hibernian. Look, I'm not expecting a miracle from him. If he turns out to be something, it's great, but I do think he might be overtaken by Bilal Agger, who looks to be the absolute part. As I said, we've already brought him in, and we've already loaned him out to Derby already, so we have got a good deal out of him. Anthony Elanga's gone off to Blackpool. Sergio Romero's gone to Shahib Al-Halali. Interesting enough, got a wage demotion. Fosu Mensah's gone back to PSV Eindhoven. Look, he's a good player, but there just wasn't a future with us. I wish him the best. I'm hoping he plays lights out, but we'll have to see with that. He's on by Besiktas, interestingly enough. These are a few smaller players. Any other players, big players in this list that have made their way out? Oh yes, this one. Oh sorry, first off, Andres Pereira, actually. He is off to Milan on loan. The reason I loaned him off to Milan is because we just don't have space for it at the moment, and they're offering, I think, maybe like 50%. Marco Moto is another player I'm going to watch carefully at Derby. So I think we got like 2 players on loan at Derby when we sold them Joe Pereira last season. So interesting enough. This is the big one. Lexi Sanchez has finally gone. We've got him off the wage budget. I think we're paying 235k a week to get this kid off the books. It's a saving of 200, which when you look over the season's 10 million. At the end of the day, that probably does pay for more than it makes up for. He had no hope of playing our side. I don't even care what we paid him. It was probably worth it at the end of the day. But yeah, delighted to get him off the book. I think the fact they paid 3.8 million. I mean, I don't really care what they paid, to be honest. I'm just delighted to get him off the books for any amount of money. So look, we'll keep it moving. As you see there, 235,000 per week paid Manchester United until the end of the season. So, it's just one season. It's one. I would have paid 10 million just to tell him to feck off, but he didn't want to pay. I think I had to pay 25 million if they wanted to get him off the books. But yeah, I was delighted to get that deal done. So I am absolutely over the moon with that. That was the main deal I wanted to get done. Now, looking at the squad, I've been kind of looking at what's going to happen. I think Chris Smalling's final season with us, and I think probably Harry Maguire and Fred are the next 2 to probably get going. Gerald Delafelu, he's on the loan list at the moment. I don't really have a place for him. He's available. He's only on 110 grand a week, so he's not really a wage thief. He's a handy backup to have, but I don't really expect to play him every bloody week, or we'll just have to see what his role turns into. So there's probably going to be some movement here. I think Fred and Maguire, we need to move them on at the end of the season. They're the next 2 players kind of I see on my list as kind of taking up and stealing chunks of the wage that I don't like. But Chris Smalling did want to leave. I did think he wanted to go. Interesting, Brighton wants him. I'm happy to send him to Brighton, to be fair. But the only problem is I don't think we have like an extra. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we need another centre back. If we're gonna get Crooker to Chris Smalling, I need to buy another one. But I don't really have an option there. There was an option of buying Sergio Ramos. I didn't quite feel like going with that one just yet, but I may go back for him and let Chris Smalling go. I think it'd be handy to have just to I think he'd be a brilliant partnership for either of these players. But I do feel like we have the depth. There's a player at Monaco I was looking at, a centre back, that I think could really fit that role. But we'll have to see with that. I've promoted Hannibal Mebry to the first team. I feel like he's good enough. He's definitely probably ahead in the order for me over quite a lot of other players. I think he's definitely ahead of Bellingham, and he's definitely ahead of Elena for me so far. So obviously that Heath Chong I've put on the loan list as well, so he's probably another player I'm going to go with. I'm going to try and get Angel Gomez game time, but if someone wants to, I'm actually going to put him on the, I'm actually going to make him available for loan. If you pay 100% of his wages, he is yours for the season, because I don't know if I'll get as much time to play with him as I'd like to. So that's pretty much how we're going it. Anyway, so enough of that. Let's get into the bread and butter here of the episode, the actual game. We've got Paul Tierney reffing. It is going to be Luca Digne. Luca Digne is going to get his first return to Everton here as he plays against them. It is our best 11. I feel like that is what our best 11 is. I don't really know what position I want to play Fernandes in. It's kind of a tricky one. Jesus, bloody ratings all over the place. Haven't quite got him or like Pogba up to full. Oh, no, sorry, Luca Digne. So I don't know why these are on. They've both been injured, so I thought that's probably why they're a little bit wonky. But I do have replacements on the bench for them, so hopefully we can get them on quite early if we can get this game over and done with. But yeah, that's the team. Let's crack into this game. I think I'm gonna change the camera angle for this season. I've been playing with them on a different save, and part of me thinks it would look better, but we'll have to see. Anyway, we'll have a quick look at this in this game, and you guys can work it out from there. But anyway, season 3, first game of the season. We need to get off the winning ways. I feel like we absolutely have to win here. I think anything less than a win would be very disappointing. So here we go. Let's have a look at the Everton side. So they've got Krzysztof Piątek, who's a great striker. They got Marco Asensio. That's an interesting buy. So he's making his debut. Guilty Sigurdsson, Richarlison, Rafinha, Andre Gomez. And they've got Ola Aina, Victor Lindelof, Mason Holgate, and Jesus Corona at right back, and then Pickford captain line. So it's a pretty good side. Like it's pretty, it's pretty strong. Not gonna lie, a little bit worried about it, but we should have enough to get through. They've got former Man United player Keane on the bench. They've got famous Seamus Coleman and Dominic Calvert-Lewin. So it's gonna be a tricky game. I feel like this is gonna be a good test for us. Do some passionate lads. I expect nothing but a win. Come on, lads. Good reaction there from Bruno. Good reaction there from Yuri. Okay, lads, let's get into this. Opposition instructions. Let's get it started. Ask assistance. We'll do that. And that will be a pretty good start. Anyway, let's crack into this game. Lindelof finds Holgate. Be nice to get an early goal here. Bruno Fernandes. We try TV. Look, Senguis back to Bruno. Bruno Fernandes. Oh, what a finish. 23 seconds in. Bruno Fernandes with a brilliant finish to start it off there. That is an absolute beauty. We'll scroll in a bit so you guys can see a bit better. What a start. Tillemans, beautiful ball. Senguis under. Just got past their left back. Senguis looks inside. Looks actually, pardon me, back behind really. And that's a beautiful finish to get it past Pickford. Vintage-esque, kind of like the one he scored against Everton earlier this season, or should I say this year. Proceed with tactical change. What did I change? Oh yeah, please do actually. I do want to achieve that change up. I do want to make sure that Everton feel like they're on the back foot. So an 8 rating already for Bruno Fernandes. Interesting, an assist for Senguis, and he's only on a 6.9. So a little weird on that one. Here we go. Lindelof playing at the back. Probably doesn't know a bit of our system, but we have improved. Bruno Fernandes. Go on, Bruno. Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes to 2. Oh, that should have been 2-0. That should have been 2-0, lads. That really should have been the game wrapped up, but unfortunately it's not. Senguis. Alright, apologies for that. A quick call there. Anyway, back to the game here. Lamar gets absolutely filthy tackle from Puntek. Get him off. Get him out of here. Get him out. Get him out. Get him out of here. So 1-0 up, 10 minutes gone. Happy with that. We're pretty much dominating this game, which is exactly what we want to do. Lovely ball in from Lamar. Doesn't quite fall to bite out of the way I was hoping it would. What can Jean-Claire do here? Finds Pogba. Jean-Claire to bite out of that French connection. Always so good. Digne. Twin CB. What can Twin CB do here? Look for the pass. Don't like playing it back here, but we have to do Twin CB. Finds Bruno. Bruno looks for Senguis. This is where Senguis can be so lethal. Senguis, that's it. Oh, that's an absolutely beautiful finish. What a finish from Senguis under. Senguis and Bruno Fernandes, they've put their shooting boots on today. They've put their assist boots as well, pretty much. Both of them linking up in the first two goals, and Everton are already been put to the sword here. Bruno Fernandes, what a pass to Senguis. Flicks it in, gets through. Low, hard, driven shot into the bottom right corner. Pickford cannot get down quick enough, and brilliant start. Ideal start, to be honest. Although the Everton team looked quite good, but so far so good. We've taken them apart, really. So that's a good sign to see. And that might mean we'll have a chance to rest some of our star players, hopefully later in the second half. But I do have to be cautious. They do have still fantastic players. You know, Richarlison and Marco Asensio can open up a game from nothing. So we'll see how that goes from there. But yeah, you see Bruno Fernandes and Senguis under really controlling the game at the moment. So that's good to see. So here comes Everton. So this is going to be their highlight. Taquito Corona, Rafinha, Mason Holgate. And it goes back to Pickford. Hopefully Pickford makes a mistake here. Doesn't. Boots it out. It's falling into the hands of Gomez here. It's falling for Richarlison. Out to Jesus Corona. What can he whip in here? He finds a chance for Piontek. It falls for Sigurdsson. That's the problem. You can't give these guys any sniff. And Sigurdsson is a fantastic player at doing that. And really, that's come from nothing. And unfortunately, just a bit of poor defense here. As you see, Richarlison gets through. It falls out for Jesus Corona. It's a good cross. He finds Piontek, but it's greatly blocked there by Twensibi. But it's just the rebound just lands right in Gylfi Sigurdsson's lap. No one in front of him. No one could get near it. And yeah, he does the rest himself. So pretty good finish on that one. But now, can we get a third? Can we get a third before halftime? I'd love to put this game to bed. Wan-Bissaka. The only Wan left at the club, really. Wan-Bissaka. Go on, look for the thing. Pass, Bruno, Wan. Come on. Into Senguis, there it is. 3-0. Or 3-1. Get in. It's in there. Beautiful finish here. Wan-Bissaka, Bruno Fernandes, lovely play. Back to Wan-Bissaka. Lovely pass, puts him in the right space, and lovely touch kick, top left corner. Senguis is off to a flyer this season. He didn't quite get off that flyer last season. This season looking good. He is onside there. As you can see, the red line is behind the yellow, which does mean he is onside. And that is 3-1. Can we make it 4-1? Could we make it 4-1? Not quite there. Richarlison gives the ball away to Digne. Obviously still thinks he's his teammate, but Digne finds Pogba. He's definitely offside. Go to VAR. Let's have a look. Close, but no a donut. So Bruno Fernandes, Senguis. Oh, he's got space. He's got space for the hat-trick. Oh, great tackle. Bruno Fernandes, what a player. What a player. Second goal of the game. 4-1 before half-time. Wow. What a player. What a player. I mean, magnificent player. I thought Senguis was going to get his hat-trick here. I thought this was an absolute sitter. It falls back to Bruno. That is a majestic strike. Jordan Pickford doesn't know what's hit him. And we've just completely smashed Everton this first half. Absolutely unbelievable start. Bruno on a different level. Senguis on a different level. I mean, I don't think we've even needed to use the rest of the players on the field. That's just how good we've been this half. I mean, what a half. What a absolute half. Dominating. Love that. Very happy, lads. That's exactly what we want to say to them. Get them riled up. Get them into this game. This type of performance we needed. But Jesus Corona here. Holgate with a free header right into De Gea's hands. We'll take that all day and twice on Sunday. Twensibi finds Wan-Bissaka. Twensibi Bruno. A little bit dangerous there. Not quite what I was envisioned with my setup, but we'll see what happens here. Pogba lays it off to Tielemans. Barely touched the ball probably this half as Senguis. Oh, just absolutely does them again. Senguis, we're going for the hat trick. He just blood rushed to the head there. It was worth a strike in fairness, but maybe keep it down a little bit more. Probably the ideal game to throw in Hannibal Mebbury, probably, I feel like. So we'll have a look at the setup and we'll do that in a bit. But we got a fifth. A dirty tackle, but Marcel keeps the ball, looks inside to Pogba. It's a good effort, great effort from Pogba. Just couldn't quite keep it down in his left foot. But it's good. It's good play. Much needed play. I'm liking, look at this. I think it's time to make a substitution here. We will bring on Hannibal Mebbury on. I feel like he's the most deserving player we have. We'll take Pogba off simply the fact he's having probably the worst game, and it's a perfect 1-for-1 substitution. Probably we'll get Greenwood maybe on next if we can. Maybe Guardiola as well. See what happens here. But 60-minute mark. I think this game's probably dead and buried as Alex Iwobi comes on for Asensio. Yeah, we're gonna make that change. I'm gonna rest Martial, I feel. Or do we actually? I think we need to rest Lamar probably. How ready is Rashford? Rashford's not ready at all. Yikes, that's not exactly good. Hope he's gonna be a lot more rested, but they seem to be a little bit out of touch. We're gonna make this a little adjustment. We're gonna go with this. It's a little bit unbalanced, but it should work. And then I'll probably bring on Greenwood after this, or I might bring on Rashford. I think we have to bring on Rashford though. I don't want to run Rashford's legs out just yet, but I probably will bring in the next game. Anyway, let's bring Rashford on for Sen Luis. He's been absolutely fantastic today. So job done. Put 3 up top, and we'll call it a day. Happy with that. We're up 4-1. We can experiment aggressively with these type of things. See what happens, really. Yeah, they brought Seamus Coleman on for Jesus. I always thought Jesus Corona was more of a winger, but obviously they've played him as a right back. Obviously trying to retrain him as a right back, which is interesting, but been a quite dull second half here. 3 changes made, no real impact from any of them, which is a little bit disappointing, but I suppose the game's kind of static out as Everton try not to concede a 5th, which is obviously, kind of a bit of a trying to save face type of approach, but our back four is all in the green. That's great to see. Finishes up 4-1, so be it. There it is. That's the end of the game. A 4-1 bouncing of Everton there at Old Trafford. We shouldn't have conceded the goal, but it did happen. Bruno Fernandes with the man of the match. Great work, lads. Well done. That's a great win for us. That puts us in a fine position, and hopefully now we can really start to ramp up the, our title charge. I feel like that's the perfect time to send that one. But anyway, actually, I want to have a quick look at the Premier League table. We're top. Who would have guessed? Let's have a look at the season preview. What are their chances? Interesting enough, we're ranked the 4th best chance to win. Liverpool City, we're not far off, but we do need to improve a lot. Hopefully we'll get a lot back. Southampton got re-promoted. Watford and Huddersfield got re-promoted, interesting enough. So we'll have to see that. De Jong is a centre-back? No way they played. Please don't tell me they played him there. Like, that is absolutely disgraceful if they've played him at centre-back. That is absolutely hideous. 93 million. That's a pretty good deal for them. Havertz, Kane up front. I was tempted by Harry Kane, I'm not going to lie, but it's never really made up. Interesting enough, Man City bought João Felix. Pretty good deal for them, I have to say, but we do have Bruno Fernandes. Probably going to rank Bruno better than him. Yeah, let's look at the league table. As we started off the season, we are on top with goal difference. I mean, there's only, 2 games to play, so yeah, good start, great start. We're happy with the start, and yeah, more to come. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. It was a good one. It's good to be back. I'm feeling the season's the season. Let's get into it. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys very, very soon. Have a great day. I'll see you soon.